that time. The end of year awards on the DAZN boxing show. Adi Oladipo, former WBC cruiserweight champ Tony Bellew, and we're about to give out some awards. Not physically, you don't get anything. No medal, no certificate, you just get the thumbs up from those in the know. That's myself and Tony. Let's start with the first one, the big one, the one that everyone cares about. This is like the best actor at the Oscars.
Okay.
Best fighter of the year. Let's just go straight in big. Fighter of the year, who scoops it?
Dmitry Bivol.
Good shout. It's difficult to argue with it, isn't it? I mean, you beat Canelo, you went into that fight as an underdog. Yeah. You get all those, hardcore boxing fans. Well, you knew it was going to happen. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. You expected Canelo to win.
And then the fact he does a 44-0 fighter next.
Yeah, so he's followed it up. I was and ahhing, don't get me wrong, Dmitry Bivol for me is the guy, but I was looking at Bam Rodriguez.
Yeah.
Just because I was thinking, okay, who's had 3 or 4 fights this year at the high level? Bam's had 3 fights this year, which is quite rare for top fighters. Everyone's doing 1s and 2s. Rung Vasaya, Quadras, and then he fought obviously on the undercard of GGG versus Canelo. Wasn't the greatest performance, and that's why I'm with you. I edged to Dmitry Bivol as the fighter of the year. So I'm with you.
Just that Canelo win. I mean, I'm not going to lie, I didn't see it coming. I didn't think he'd defeat him. But he did. He showed not just me, but everyone in the world of how good he can possibly be. Yeah. I think the big thing with Bivol is when he's up for it and when he's got fear in his body.
Good shout.
When he's got fear in his body, he's a different animal. He's a fantastic competitor. Amazing footwork for the light heavyweights.
Yeah, it's almost like he's unlocked another gear that we didn't know he had. Like he's almost showing us, okay, wait, if I can go there, I can go there again. So I'm with you, Dmitry Bivol for fighter of the year. Fight of the year is an interesting one because I think we've seen quite a few good scraps, not just on DAZN, but on all the platforms out there. What's your fight of the year? What truly delivered this year?
I think this one excelled and exceeded expectation, which I don't know how that's possible because the build-up and the magnitude of the fight was second to none. But Katie Taylor and Serrano went way above and beyond of delivering. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, what they did to each other in the ring was scary. It's weird because the first round, feel-out round, you hear the term a lot in boxing. And now after that was it. They just went in the center of the ring and started knocking bells out of each other. And I was there thinking, this isn't gonna last. Like, they can't keep doing this for 10 rounds.
I didn't even think that was the first feel-out round. I thought he just went for it in the first round. Because they just were going for it. There was just smoke all around the ring and I was just like, wow, this is something else. So amazing to watch. What a night. And we were there to witness that historic moment.
It was historic. Shout out to Michael Conlon and Lee Wood as well. Put up something ridiculous. And just the way that ended, that was probably the most dramatic end to a fight we've seen this year, where Lee Wood knocks Michael Conlon through the ropes. He's down on the scorecards, he needs to win, it's in front of his home fans, and for him to kind of dig deep, like the way he dug deep to get the win, I think that deserves a shout as well. Knockout of the year. Knockout of the year, who has put people to sleep this year?
Probably have to go with the Lee Wood.
Really, yeah?
It's just a wet of the moment it's done. I just think don't get me wrong, I was really worried on the night and it was frightening to see Michael Conlon like that. To come out the ring, and I've been arguing and protesting this for a while, why there should be matting around the ring, an extra table just with a mat around it. That was the perfect example of why it should. The guy come out, and if it wasn't for his family, literally his own family, catching his head before it waxed the floor, it's frightening to think what could have been. So that knockout is so late in the fight. It's just, it's the drama of it. I'm sure I'm missing a better actual just one-punch shot bang and someone's asleep that I'm missing somewhere. But for no one done it as dramatic as that. He's behind on points. He's lost the fight. He's losing the fight. I'm sorry. Lee Wood had lost the fight, and in that 12th round, he done what he said. He done exactly what he said before the fight. During the press conference, he said, "What are you going to do when you're losing in the 12th round?" He went, "I'll just knock you out in the 12th round."
He called it.
And he said it.
He did. You mentioned that kind of one-punch KO, and if you're thinking of someone, it has to be Joe Cordino Ogawa.
Oh,
I mean, he landed that right hand as sweet
vicious
as any right hand, and he knew. He said, you see him, as soon as he lands it, he kind of turns around and celebrates, because you fighters know, right? As soon as you land, you must feel it up your forearm, your bicep, everything.
Everyone says that, but Dan will tell you, you know...
Don't you feel it? Don't you just know when it lands clean?
It doesn't, you know, you don't feel... I have had it where I've nailed someone, they've gone out like a light, but I've hit them on the forehead and done that. But when you hit someone on the chin, you don't feel anything. It's the best way of feeling it. It's like hitting a perfect golf ball right in the middle of the club.
I knew you were going to mention golf.
No, it hits and connects, but you don't feel any connection. It's like you've hit nothing. It's just like you've hit fresh air, and next thing you know, you fell fast asleep. I've done it a few times, so.
Yeah. I, honestly, that knockout, I mean, the ref could have counted for a minute, and the guy was not getting up. Yeah, 200 what minutes?
I mean, you could have gone to,
I'll give you 200 seconds.
Just 1 to 100, and the guy was still fast asleep.
Honestly, it was special. Upset of the year. Like, I think 2021 we had so many. Remember, we had Sandor Martin, Mikey Garcia. We had Josh Warrington, Mauricio Lara, Kid Galahad, Kiko Martinez. There haven't been that many big upsets like that.
Exactly, you hit the nail on.
Yeah, there haven't been like, oh my God, what?
Been one big one.
One big one?
One big one.
Go on.
No one. I don't care what smart ass out there saying it. No one was putting the house on Bivol beating Canelo. Sorry to say. That's why he's fighter of the year. He's defeated the main man in boxing. I'm not going to lie, I think if they was to have a rematch, I'd favour Canelo. I really would.
No chance.
I really would. I think Canelo could beat Bill. No. But at the same time...
I think Bivol beats Canelo at 168.
But Bivol's gone right up my estimation. No one's beating Canelo at 168. No one. I'll have some of that.
Yeah, we'll take that. I'll take that for charity,
definitely.
Obviously, for charity. Yeah.
It's going to have to be for charity, because I'm skinned.
I'm with you. I don't think there's been a crazy upset this year. No. Obviously, someone will probably sort of chuck a few things at us, but for me, I think the Bivol one, being there as well, and just the way in which it just went quiet. And the Mexican fan base are a knowledgeable fan base. They know what's going on, and the way it just went...
I've got a good upset.
Go on.
John Ryder defeating Danny Jacobs.
You know what my issue with that one is? I've scored that fight twice, and I've scored it to Jacobs. That's my only issue with that fight. I thought it was so close.
I did think it was close.
That's difficult. But you're right, Ryder won it. On the record books say he won it.
There you go. So they give him his credit. Because he's had fights where he's had them really close and not got them.
Yeah.
So for once, you know, I'm not trying to say two wrongs make it right just because a fighter's been robbed. It doesn't give him the entitlement then to rob another fighter. Because as we've just said, two wrongs don't make it right. But listen, no one can debate that fight was close. But he's been in close ones, and I like, me and Dad and differ on our opinion. I think Callum Smith beat him, but just because you do better against someone doesn't mean you beat them.
Yeah.
And I thought he lost that night, but he didn't get the decision. But I'll give him his due, it was really close. I mean, barring Canelo, that's the hardest Callum Smith's been pushed by anyone.
Yeah.
John Ryder is due his credit, he really is, but he's gone in there against Danny Jacobs, who's a brilliant fighter, technically gifted, very good, very strong, amateur pedigree, going way back for the Yanks, for the Americans, and he went in there and no one expected John, everyone thought it was just a tune-up fight for Danny Jacobs. No one was giving John Ryder any real hope or chance, and he went in there and he got stuck right into him.
Yeah, no, look,
the job done.
It's a great shout, it's a great shout. Now you're making me think. I do think Bam going against Quadras or Rungvisai, he was an underdog in both of those fights.
The Rungvisai one, I give him most
Rungvisai one as well. Yeah, so I think Bam deserves a shout out. Prospect of the year. Who's your one to watch? Not just for 2022, but going forward in 2023. Who have you got your eyes on?
Just two.
Obviously, you make up the rules as you go along, but it's fine. You can do it.
I want to give three, but you know,
you can't give three. This is my show. You're not giving three.
Okay, well, if I'm just going to stick to one, I really like Hopi Price.
Okay.
I do think he's a quality operator. I think he's brilliant. And why has my mind gone blank?
Can I, as you're doing it, can I jump as you're doing it?
Punchy dope I am, yeah. Go on, mate.
Top Rank have a Puerto Rican 154 pounder called Xander Zayas. He's 20 years old. Right now, I think he's 14-0, 10 knockouts. I would bet my house on him becoming a world champion. If he doesn't become a world champion, it's a failure. Wow. He has absolutely everything.
I mean, you should know that after 14-0, to be fair.
You should, but you know what boxing's like. The way in which they build up a fighter's record and then they put him up against someone. Munguia's 41-0, and I'm still not sure.
Do you know what I mean? That's what I said, though, was 44-0.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
So, you
But yeah, honestly, he's been around to different gyms. He's sparred different people from different countries, trying to just learn different techniques. And Puerto Rico have always had that star, haven't they? And they really haven't had anyone since Miguel Cotto. I know obviously Amanda Serrano's there, but in terms of filling up MSG, and they're looking at him as the next guy that could. So keep an eye on him. I think he's a really, really good prospect. Might have just crossed over that prospect threshold, but for me, I think Xander Zayas is just, if you're bored, YouTube, watch him. Very, very special fighter.
Sounds good, and still can't get my mind around who that other one is, so I'm a punchy dope, as I've said, so I'm just going to have to leave it at hope he plays.
Yeah, Dalton Smith is one for the UK as well. I think Dalton Smith.
But he's a title holder now, he's not a prospect.
British?
Once you've got a title,
once you've got a title, that's it.
Once you've fought a 12-round fight, you're no longer a prospect, you're a title contender.
Oh, shit.
I mean, listen, it's just the way it is. I mean, you're fighting 12 rounds, you're up for the title, and you're ready for the title fight.
You're correct.
It's one of them that we've got a few, the other person I was thinking of, it's now come to me, as things do just come to me, like I'd done before in the quiz, the way it just came out of nowhere. With Jimmy Kelly, that's what I do. But the other one,
no comment.
And I swear, is Galal Yafai. And it's crazy because...
I'm sorry, I'm not having that. I'm not having that. Olympic gold medalist, I'm not having that. And he's already done a 12-rounder.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, but he's had like 4 fights, 3
I'm not having it, so you just can't make the rules up and change the rules.
Three or four.
Done a 12-rounder, Olympic gold medalist, and he's having a go at me for saying Dalton Smith.
3 or 4 fights, but this guy, when he's Dalton...
He's got a WBC international title.
British champion, mate.
WBC international.
British champion.
All right, cool, let's move on. Best ring walk. Best ring walk of the year. Oh, I've got 2.
There's one.
I've got 2.
There's just
I've got
one.
2.
There's one, and it's just one only. It was the most euphoric ring walk I've witnessed in years. Katie Taylor walking that ring against Amanda Serrano. I swear to God, I haven't felt emotion like that in a ring walk. I swear it was like she was making the last walk of her life.
No,
I was well enough.
And she was wearing those kind of gladiatorial clothes as well, wasn't she?
I've become emotional since these last few years. I swear to God, I think I'm on the verge of something really drastic for men. And like, I was close to tears.
No, it was special. I don't know why, but the best ring walk for me of all time.
Thunderstruck!
No. It's all of the lights in here, baby. As soon as Kell Brook's music comes on, goosebumps. All the time, it's goosebumps. I've always loved that ring walk. And I think with the Amir Khan fight, you had a guy playing the piano at first, didn't you? You had a guy, so it was a bit different. And he got booed. He accepted the boos, but just that ring walk, knowing that, again, I followed his journey, 15 years, Kel. I've always been a fan of his. So for him to have that ring walk, and fingers crossed it's his final ring walk, because you mentioned Katie there, I think her, and a shout out to Chisora as well, coming out to Elvis Presley. I really thought that was it for Chisora. When he came out to that, "You're always on my mind." Yeah, I thought that was it.
Boxing will always be on his mind.
He asked for Wilder when he beat Pula. I was like, you spoiled it. You spoiled it, my man. Couple more. Best social beef spat, like 2 guys that have gone at each other over social media, not including you and you losing it sometimes with your trolls.
I mean, I just say to them, I want to find out why trolls do what they do.
Tony Bellew will say, look, I've got 10 minutes now. Spare 10 minutes before I get on the golf course. Go on, trolls, explain yourself.
Why would anyone create a profile with a false picture and a false name? I mean, what do you possibly get out of that? It's absolutely pathetic. But they've got to have, so not every one of them can be some weird sado in the Mars attic, playing on PlayStation. That can't be everyone. I mean, there's grown men, grown women out there, adults creating profiles to abuse people. I mean, is your life really that sad? So there's got to be something. I'm trying to figure it out for them. I'm trying to help them. Outside of that,
outside of those people,
the best beef I've seen on Twitter.
Nonsense, a lot of it, to be fair.
Javante and I'm not going to lie here. I'm saying that because I've heard about it. I ain't read a single thing either of them said. I've just heard about it.
Javante, you know what he does? For some weird reason, he'll put up a tweet on Instagram post and deletes it. I was like, what are you doing? Just leave. He literally puts it up for about 10 seconds. Someone screenshots it, then you go onto his page, it's gone.
He is single-handedly the biggest punching fighter of the low weight division since Nassim Hamed, that boy. He is a brute. Mate, I'm telling you now.
I think Inoue could have an argument on that.
Nah,
I think Inoue could have an argument.
Inoue's dangerous.
When you're called the monster, there's a reason for it.
I agree, but I'm telling you now,
and them small black gloves he wears.
The people who Javante Davis takes out and the way he takes them out, I think pound for pound, Gervonta Davis is literally the freak of a puncher. He's just dangerous, mate. And the worst thing is, he's like, he knows he's got it. Because he's like, I'll lose rounds, I'm not bothered, I'm going to get you.
I noticed that, yeah. He
can switch
and he's
off
such a good
through.
boxer. This is a guy that's had over 200 amateur fights, golden gloves. He seems to neglect his boxing skill now because he knows he's going to get to you. Yeah. And when he gets to you, he's spiteful and horrible.
doesn't do that.
No, Nue just gets to you. All right, final one, the best guest you've had. So, obviously apart from me, because I know you really enjoy my company. But the best guest you've had so far this year, it could be on the DBS, could be live, anything in studio. Who's the best guest?
I love having Jamie Moore on, so knowledgeable.
Nice
but ultimately, you know what I'm going to say?
Go on.
Darren Barker.
Darren Barker, really?
Yes, Darren.
Of all the options available.
DAZN, Darren Barker.
Of all the options available, has it got that bad? Jesus Christ. Doesn't even make my top 10. My number one, without a shadow of a doubt, Dmitry Bivol. When I was in Vegas, and I said I'm Team Bivol.
Fanboy.
And he was like, yeah. And he gave me his top. Ooh, he gave me his top. He's like, oh, yeah, and he gave me his top. And you know what he did? You know what he did? He won. He won as well. And when I saw him at the Ramirez fight, I was like, you, Ade, come. And yeah.
Ooh, Jacket friends.
Yeah, I'll take that. Oh, it's a good friend to have. Good friend to have. Friends in the high places, they call it, Tony. Friends in the high places.
I wouldn't know anything about that because you know why? Because I live in that high place.
Ooh, I like what you're doing. Tone, it's been a good one. I've enjoyed it. That's our awards for 2022. If you didn't make it, you know what to do. Step up in 2023 so you'll make our December awards next year. For myself and Tony, peace.